Well, the season series, the Penguins won it 4-3, but the Pens did not win a game here in this building. They won all 4 at the Civic Arena. And so they'll be trying to gather their first win of the year here and taking advantage in the playoff series. There are 4 playoff series underway tonight. And, of course, the Boston Bruins will be at Hartford. Montreal goes to Buffalo. And Washington will be at home against the Rangers. Here from the Brendan Byrne Arena, our national anthem. Well, here at the Brendan Byrne Arena, they've asked folks to wear white, and they'll try and get a sea of white, and they've got the handkerchiefs out, but not a sellout crowd by any means here in this building, which holds over 19,000.
And not as much noise either, Mike, from the fans here in Brendan Byrne Arena as we heard in Pittsburgh.
Well, you still got to play the game, and what happens really, most of it, you get down into it, except for critical situations, you kind of tune out to that atmosphere. Chris Terreri, the starting goaltender for the Devils, has appeared in both games today. The 2.79 goals against average. He's 1-1, and a save percentage of .887 for the Devils netminder. Penguins, of course, starting Tom Barrasso, and Barrasso 1-1, 3.26 his save percentage at .907. The top man in the playoffs so far, save percentage-wise, Donnie Beaupre at .970. All right, Mark Recchi to start the game for the Penguins to handle the draw against Laurie Boschman, and they drop the puck. We're underway. Game 3. Andy Van Hellemond, the referee. Randy Mitten and Mike Civic are the 2 linesmen. And here is Recchi hit on a check at center ice by Fetisov. The Devil defenseman paired out here with Kasatonov, and up front they go with Boschman, Brown, and Pat Conacher. Penguins starting Lemieux's line, and Boschman coming at Lemieux back in the Penguins' end. Here's Doug Brown driving the puck into the Penguins' end. It will come to Taglianetti, Penguin defenseman. On the far boards, work free to the left wing. Fetisov of New Jersey slides a pass all the way to the near wing, and the Penguins' Paul Coffey plays it ahead to Mark Recchi. Recchi moving to the Devil zone off the left side. Lemieux kicks at that puck, trying to bring it to the net. Boschman ties him up too well, and the puck lifted by New Jersey up the other way, and Barrasso is going to have to play it. And he will. Out to center ice to Bob Airy. Airy to Coffey. Guides his way to the Devils in on the right side, and met neatly by Bruce Ryder, but left for Bob Airy. The Penguins moving towards the net. That's blocked by Dino Seeger of the Devils. Seeger comes back with a pass to Doug Brown. Brown to the Penguin line. Shoots at long range, and that's stopped by Barrasso. Tommy will sweep it around the net over to the far side. Kirk Muller in digging for it against Joe Mullen, who hits the ice for the first time in the playoffs for the Pens. Joey Mullen wearing number 7 and that protective collar around his neck. Back behind the Penguin goal, centered out, shot by Seeger and stopped by goaltender Tom Barrasso. And the first good scoring chance of the night taken by the Devils.
I'll tell you, Mike, that line of Muller and Seeger and Lemieux is a line that really gives the Penguins problems, and it would give any team problems because they love to work the puck down low. They're great at it, similar to the way the Trottier-Loney-Yager line works against the opposition. They like to get it in deep, and once they do, they're very, very effective, and that's why Kirk Muller loves centering that line, because he knows that Claude Lemieux is going to drive into that area behind the net, along the backboards, and make things happen, and that's where he excels, too, is around that cage.
Patrick Sundstrom again a scratch out with a bad shoulder. Troy Crowder, Kevin Todd, David Maley, Lee Norwood, and Rolly Melanson out for the Devils. Penguins have Jimmy Pack, Barry Peterson, Randy Gillen, Jay Caulfield, Ken Priestley, Jamie Leach, Wendell Young, Gilles Delore, Bruce Racine. The list goes on. And Randy Hillier not playing tonight.
And Bob Johnson with 23 players in the warm-up. Really keeping the Devils guessing right up until the end as to what lineup he was going to go with.
Johnny Morris, who takes Sundstrom's spot on this line. And drop down the near boards deep into the New Jersey zone. Jaromir Jagr, the hero of Game 2. On the ice with Brian Trottier and Troy Loney. And the Devils have the puck, and here they come on the move to John Morris, who had 2 assists in Game 2. Morris working against Larry Murphy. Morris coming to the net, and Barrasso reaches out and pokes it away. Shanahan putting a shoulder check into Gordie Roberts. Roberts will return now. Penalty coming up here. And it's going to be against Gordie Roberts. Roberts hitting Shanahan, but Roberts will be the guilty party. So Van Hellemond taking things under control very quickly here in this game. Issues a roughing call against Penguin defenseman Gordie Roberts, and the Devils will get the first power play chance of the game in Game 3, and the penalty will be issued at 1:40, and for the Devils it will be their 6th power play chance. They are 1 for 5 in the series today, 1 for 1 in Game 1 and 0 for 4 on Friday night.
Well, Gordie Roberts is not one of the guys who really expected to really mix it up that much physically and get involved with players and take penalties. And Andy Van Hellemond sending a message early in this one. Shanahan came in with an elbow a little high on Roberts. Roberts came back and socked him right in the face with that left hand. And That's what Van Helton saw, so he sends Roberts to the box for roughing.
Power play chance with Peter Stastny along with Brendan Shanahan and John McClain, who had 2 goals in the Devils' 5-4 loss to Driver and Weinrich, who will be the point men. Weinrich down to Driver, center point. Penguins in left side to McClain. A shot on save made by Barrasso and cleared by Ulf Samuelsson. Penguin penalty killers Ron Francis and Mark Recchi up front. And on the backside it'll be Ulf Samuelsson along with Paul Stanton. Devils forced their own in, and here they come on the move. Bruce Driver, basically the quarterback of their power play. He sets things up, going to Weinrich, who gains center red and drives into the Penguins in. Around the left side to John McClain of New Jersey. McClain swings it back to the left point. Now to the right side, it goes to Weinrich. Shoots it, stopped by Barrasso. The rebound. Grabbed neatly by Ron Francis, and he skates slowly up to center. And Francis will drive it up into the Devils' in. Look at the numbers today. We've had only 1 shorthanded goal scored in the playoffs to date. That's been by the Capitals against the Rangers. Of all the series we've had played. Down the right wing, Peter Stastny. Center point now, giving the puck to McClain. Wristed off towards the net. Barrasso got a blocking glove on that. It came to the near corner. McClain of New Jersey overskated, and the Penguins having it. Here's Mario Lemieux. Look out here. Lemieux back on a 3-on-2 as it develops, but Samuelsson could not hold it. McClain right back into the Penguins in. John McClain slams shot up the arm of Barrasso. McClain went for the rebound. Tapped away to the near boards, and Shanahan to the right point for Fetisov. Whacked that by Lemieux. Got the puck over to Brendan Shanahan. Now to Kasatonov. Shoots one, and a good shot, but a better save by Barrasso. Shanahan right wing corner. Slide it all the way to the left point to Fetisov. Right side, Kasatonov drills one. That's blocked by Penguin defenseman Ulf Samuelsson. Off the near corner, Muller centers, but it's stolen neatly by Taman. Lead up to Lemieux behind. Kasatonov, can he get by him and skate in? He can't. Kasatonov, he still got the shot up on a backhander. Kasatonov put pressure on him. Lemieux was apparently out of gas. He's trying to get back in the play as Fetisov rambles back to the Penguins in. 17 to go in the Penguin penalty. Right side to Claude Lemieux. Slap shot. That leg save made by Barrasso. Good action again, as we've seen in all 3 games, and the Penguins clear it up over the Penguin bench and out of play. With 7 seconds to go in the Gordy Roberts penalty.
Kasatonov was also an outstanding skater, and Mario just didn't have enough of a lead on him to really blow by him and leave him in the dust and go in, and Kasatonov was able to stay with him all the way. What a player he is. He's really learned to adjust to the North American game. He used to overhandle the puck, and a lot of Soviet defensemen did, because they have those bigger rinks in Europe, and they tend to like to go back and circle in their own end until they see an open man in the neutral zone. But Kasatonov has learned to turn and quickly move the puck out of his own end. He's much better at it, and as a result, much more effective player. He's great at both ends of the ice.
I think he's been their best player in the 2 games to date. Alexei Kasatonov for the Devils. Maybe we underestimated the play. Of course, it is a long regular season, and nobody really was a strong stand-up for the Devils, but they've come on here in the playoffs, and they've tied this. They have a series tied here. Devils have outshot the Penguins already in the opening period, 6-0. Here is Paul Stanton of the Penguins back in his own territory after the faceoff penalty is almost over. Roberts is on. He'll have to get back into the Penguins in. Devils have a brief advantage until Gordy can get on, and he is now. And here's Coffey of the Penguins sliding the puck over to Gordy Roberts. Roberts moving it to Paul Stanton. Stanton wristed up into the Devils in, and Roberts goes to the bench. The Penguins put new people on. We'll get an icing call here as Bork collides with Ken Danico on the icing infraction. That brings it back into Penguin territory. No score, first period, 16:05 left. Tempers heat up a little bit as Jamie Huscroft and Bork jaw with one another, but we'll return on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Evidently, some people have money to burn. Why else would they pay an outrageous fee to carry a simple credit card when they could carry the Discover card, the card that charges no annual fee, yet pays cash back on every charge, which means it puts money into your pocket instead of burning a hole in it. It pays to Discover.
Like the way things have gone here. The Penguins killing off that early Devil power play, somewhat weathering a storm here. Now you figure the Penguins are going to have a couple of chances coming their way.
Face off to the right of Penguin goaltender Tom Barrasso, 26-year-old Penguin who played prior to the stint with the Pens with the Buffalo Sabres. And here is Ronnie Francis out against Kirk Muller. Face-off controlled by the Penguins, and Coffey leads it over the right side. Francis playing with Joey Mullen and Kevin Stevens right now on a line. And work back to center, and it's dumped back into the right wing corner of the Penguins zone. Coffey back to maneuver the puck. Sneaking up the right wing to Joey Mullen. Mullen has a man open left wing Stevens. He breaks into the Devils in, drop it back to Francis, and he tried to shoot it, and they partially fanned on it. The Devils capture the puck, and here they come the other way. Claude Lemieux trying to get into Pittsburgh territory. Seager knocked down off Samuelson. Dino Seager lined up by Francis. Seager trying to center still, and Muller now winds it around to the far corner. Claude Lemieux with the Devils. Leaves it in the corner. Alf Samuelson played it out for the Penguins and back down to the neutralized area. Hopping to the Devil zone. Danico chased by Stevens. Waited in the corner. Goes after the puck himself but can't clear. Francis around to Joey Mullen. Man in front of Stevens. Can he get the shot off? He deflects it. And that's a penalty coming up against the Devils. Abilene pulled down Kevin Stevens. And the Pens are going to get the power play. So the turkey will be on the table for the Pittsburgh Penguins as Stevens hanging right tough in front of that net. And the Penguins opportunity to score. But the Devils guilty of the penalty, I believe.
You hear so much about Tim Kerr and how strong he is in front of the goal, but Kevin Stevens in this series is really drawing a lot of attention from the New Jersey Devils defense, and they're starting to figure out just how tough he can be around that goal. And he decides he wants to plant himself in there. Tommy Abilene, not really a physical guy, not particularly strong in front of his own net, and he had to do everything in his power to hold Stevens out of there and ended up tackling him in front of the goal on a holding penalty.
Well, they've moved us up high here to the upper limits of this Brendan Byrne Arena for the playoffs with other people doing the broadcasting. We have a platform up here, and we almost lost our cameraman Mark a minute ago, who stepped back to kind of take a look and almost went off the platform. So hang in there, man.
Kathy Smith of Latrobe is our contestant on the Ironman Advantage contest. $100 bill on the line from Iron City Beer if the Penguins can cash in on the power play.
Recchi, Stevens, Lemieux on the front line. The appointment will be Coffey and Murphy. And the right side of the Devils in. It comes over to Mark Recchi. Recchi now to Coffey, center point. Does he shoot it? Yes, and a save made by Terreri. And now in front, Recchi scores. Set up by Lemieux, and the Penguins take a 1-0 lead. Now book 'em, Dano. The wrecking ball gets the power play goal, and the Penguins lead 1-0. Well, Lemieux got that puck off the pad of Terreri and then sliding it back in front, and Recchi gets the goal for the Penguins. And for Mark Recchi, his first goal in the playoffs.
Paul Coffey with a good low shot. Terreri had to kick it out. Lemieux got the rebound and immediately threw it in front. Terreri was not ready for that at all. That's what quick puck movement will do. Get you going every which way, and that was the case there. Lemieux quickly moved it to Recchi, who stepped right into position. Look at Kevin Stevens drawing the attention once again of those Devil defensemen. The T-Sov was in there trying to hold him out and had his back to Recchi, and Recchi stepped into the opening there and just drilled it by Chris Terreri to give the Penguins a 1-0 lead.
So Recchi with his first playoff goal ever. He had 40 on the regular season, a new high for him, tying Kevin Stevens to the lead in the team in that department. But a thrill for that young guy, Mark Recchi, from Coffey and Lemieux at 4:56. It took the Penguins 9 seconds to score on the power play, and they are now 3 for 10 in the series so far on the power play. And that'll be a big difference, I'll tell you. It can be in this series with the Penguins power play working. And here's Larry Murphy shooting the puck long to the Devils in along the near boards. New Jersey trying to clear it out. They can't do it at the moment, but Driver now carries the mail out. He'll feed it right wing over to Brendan Shanahan. Shanahan dump it right side. Here's a shot by John Morris, blocked by Gordy Roberts, the Penguin defenseman. Roberts handles the puck and he shoots it in behind the Penguin cage. And Barrasso around the boards. Driver right there shoots it back in front. Pittsburgh trying to come up with it, and Murphy will, and he lays it back in the center ice area. Eric Weinrich to the Devils. Drilling the puck into the Penguins in, and Murphy again defensively looking for Gordy Roberts. His pass intended for Loney hopped off his blade. Devils trying to get back into Pittsburgh territory, but there's Jaromir Jagr to gather it in. Jagr of the Penguins coming up. Sandwich between two of the Devils, knocked off the biscuit, and McLean is hit hard by Roberts. Here's Morris though to the Penguins in. McLean was decked by Gordy Roberts. In behind the Penguin goal. Murphy played it up his own man and now gets it back and drives it back to center ice. Weinrich again. Lofting the puck back to the Penguin goal. And Roberts passing left wing to Troy Loney. Sneak it lazily to the Devils in. The Penguins scoring the first goal in the game here at New Jersey.
It's awful quiet here at the Brendan Byrne Arena right now.
And here's Bork now trying to ramble back into the Devils in. Down the left wing. He comes in deep. Scotty Young looking for the puck too. Alf Samuelson whack it in behind the net. Yuri Hrdina was knocked down. Hrdina's out here with Scott Young and Phil Bork. And New Jersey clearing the puck deep to the Penguins in. Samuelson racing back to touch it, and we have an icing call against the New Jersey Devils. 13-17 to go in period number 1. Penguins have the lead 1-0. Remember, they were outshot 6-0. Now 6-6. We'll be back on the Penguins Hockey Network.
If you're never quite sure just when or where your food's going to show up, come to King's. At King's, you can count on lots of choices, lots of delicious food, and lots of time to enjoy it.
because I'm a teeny bit late, your drinks are free.
Next time, make it King's.
Well, this faceoff will be in the Devils' zone to the left of Chris Terreri. And Francis on the ice here with Joey Mullen and Kevin Stevens. I told you the shots are dead even at half a dozen each. And the puck controlled by the Pens. Mullen dumped it back to the blue line. Nobody there. Goes through the center circle, and Stanton now delivers it back into the Devils' end. Ken Danico of New Jersey winded around the boards. Game 4 of this series will be played on Tuesday night right here at the Brendan Byrne Arena. Game 5 back at the Civic Arena on Thursday. Here's Clyde Lemieux and the Penguins in, though, for the Devils. Centered it. Stevens back. It came off his skate. Around to the right point for Danico. Danico backhanded. It went off the glass and up into the seats, and they call for the faceoff outside of the Penguin line. Well, Kevin Stevens has taken a stick from Danico and suffered a broken nose in this series. Also, Terreri got him, and so he's kind of leery out there in this series so far, trying to protect that nose. Joey Mullen goes off. Mullen, 17 goals on the regular season for Joey.
Asked Joey if that horse collar bothers him at all, and he said no, it's just a little hot. It doesn't restrict him in any way, but if he were to have his head snapped back and he whiplash, that would protect him there. He had a disc removed right at the top of his spine and behind it, just below the neck. And it was a thought that he would not be able to play at all the rest of the season, and it's great to see him back.
Joey finished up practice today and got on the phone and called home over to New York, and the reaction was no reaction. He says, "Mom, Joey, Ma, it's Joey." She wasn't sure who it was from us. She said, "I know." It was just kind of interesting as though she didn't recognize his voice. And now on the near side, coming up with it, of course, Brian Mullen and Joey Mullen brothers. Brian playing with the New York Rangers, and they had a big roller blade tournament yesterday. I guess that Brian Mullen went out of state, was there quite some time, apparently, was involved in it. And off the left wing boards, Penguins in. It comes to Laurie Boschman. Boschman tried to feather it over to Pat Conacher. Penguins lead 1-0 here in the first period. Right side, Doug Brown shoots it right back to the net, and Barrasso found that one through a lot of traffic and made the save. And the puck was hopping all over the ice. I'll tell you one thing, was very warm here as it was in Pittsburgh today. Very, very warm. But this building, we mentioned it, is always the coldest, I think, in the National Hockey League. And it was so cold in here this morning. I mean, it was very warm. It was in the 50s here in the building. And it's very pleasant right now. I can honestly say thanks for the moment for keeping it nice and cool in here.
Number 32 of the Devils, Conacher, has his name on the Stanley Cup. He was with the Edmonton Oilers in '84. And he'd like to get it on there again. Long way to go for that to happen for the Devils.
Johnny Morris in here to face off against Brian Trottier. McLean and Shanahan working on the wings for John Morris. Face off to the left of Barrasso. And they drop it to the right point. Weinrich now scoots down by the linesman Randy Mint. Weinrich comes in. He can't turn around defenseman Murphy, and Murphy got a piece of him, pulled him down. The penalty will be called against Larry Murphy. Weinrich tried to go in tight. Murphy got the penalty. We'll be back. Penguins lead 1-0 on a goal by Mark Recchi here in the first on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Every summer, millions of men trade their work clothes for aprons. Men who seldom set foot in the kitchen become instant gourmets of the grill. Giant Eagle realizes that skilled as these men may be, they may need help achieving true barbecue greatness. Introducing Butcher's Premium Ground Silver Label. Hamburgers so lean, so fresh, burgers turn out great, no matter who handles the spatula. Butcher's Premium Ground. Ground fresh all day, only at Giant Eagle.
Larry Murphy sits down for holding Eric Weinrich. That's 7:56, and now the Devils with their second power play chance of the first period. Weinrich coming in deep on the play, trying to turn the corner. Murphy just bumped him, and I don't know. I saw him go off the ice saying, "Bad call."
Shot from the left point, save made, rebound, and hit the pipe of Shanahan. Let that one go from the left side. Shanahan leads all Devils in shots on goal in the series to date. At 8 coming in. He had a chance there, but he rung it off the pipe behind Tom Barrasso. Now Weinrich delivers it up the right wing to Brendan Shanahan. Cut into the Penguins end. Left it for John Morris, but Morris coughed it up to Recchi. Can he clear? Blue line, who came outside. Weinrich brought it in. And the offside play called against the Devils. New Jersey, as we told you, on the power play, 1 for 5 coming in. Now 1 for 6. By the the way, David Maley took the warm-up tonight. I would expect there's a possibility he might be back for Game 4. The way he was skating tonight, and he's been out with an injury for the Devils, and he adds some muscle to their lineup. Patrick Sundstrom did not look too strong today in the skate this morning at the arena. That shot again by Shanahan, ringing off the post. Here's Ulf Samuelsson dealing the puck back into the Devils' end to take the heat out of a hot kitchen with a minute 25 to go in the Larry Murphy penalty. Pittsburgh leads 1-0 here at New Jersey. Montreal leads Buffalo 3-2 in the first period at Buffalo. High-scoring series, that one. And the Rangers have a 2-0 lead over Washington at the Cap Center in the first period. Ulf Samuelsson cranking around the boards. Couldn't get it out. Picked up by Shanahan off to Weinrich. Weinrich now to John McClain going behind the Penguin goal. McClain around to the left point. Sets it up for Driver right side and a shot right on by Weinrich, and that's stopped. Poked around to the far wing, and Driver again handles the puck to John McClain of New Jersey. Back to the left point. Driver's there. His shot off the stick of Lemieux. And where'd that one go? Up into the seats. And it's up in and in front of the net was Peter Stastny.
Driver upset with himself that he didn't get that shot away quicker. And Mario Lemieux with that long stick just came in there and put it right in the right spot. It went off the blade of his stick and jumped up into the stands. Peter Stastny with 2 goals in the first game, no shots in the second game. Didn't go quite his way, but he did a pretty good job on the face-offs in Game 2.
Mario Lemieux now leading the Penguins in scoring with 4 points so far in the 3 games. But Lemieux came into this one a -3 so far, the highest number, along with Bob Airy, who also checked in with that number on the plus-minus department. On the plus side, the leading man of the series so far has been Brendan Shanahan, who is a +3 for the Devils. He's played well, Shanahan.
He really has. He's played well all season for the Devils. He's been one of their most consistent players. When their team was going up and down, Shanahan was just staying right on the same level. He's had a heck of a year.
48 seconds to go in the Penguin penalty. Muller along with Claude Lemieux and Dino Seeger, and the point will be Kasatonov and Fetisov now. Face off top of the circle, left side of the Penguins end. They jockey for position. Muller against Recchi, and Randy Minton says that's not going to happen. Muller's going to be waved out.
Mike Gartner has scored for the Rangers. They lead the Capitals 2-0.
Lemieux and also Recchi was waved out. Now it's Bork against Claude Lemieux. And the Devils have it. They set it up on the right side of Kasatonov. Backdoor pass went right by Fetisov. He wasn't where Kasatonov thought he would be. Now Kasatonov skates into the Penguins end, right side to Claude Lemieux. Wrap it around the horn to the left point to Fetisov. Slava Fetisov put it in the corner. Muller's going to go in. He loves to work in the corner out in front to Seeger. Snapping one off, and that save made by Barrasso. Seeger with a good release. Right side, Seeger again shooting. That's off Barrasso's blocking glove. Tommy's been sharp in the first period. Kasatonov goes rink wide with it, but Bork is right there. Short-handed coming back for the Penguins with 13 seconds to go in the penalty. Bork moves his way into the Devils' end. Take it in deep. Good skating by Bork. He's around Kasatonov. Comes all the way around to the far corner. Now pulled, knocked down, penalty coming up, Kasatonov. And Bork threw that penalty. He really did. He enhanced it. I don't think there's any question, but he knew Kasatonov was trapped in the corner, and he put his arms up, and he just went with the flow, falling down, and Bork did a tremendous job there of helping the Penguins kill the penalty and also draw one. We'll be back. 1-0 Pittsburgh. First period on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Before I decided which car to buy, I looked around for the best deal. Toyota Corolla. Sure, price was important, but compared to other 4 doors in its class, Corolla's low repair cost and best resale value convinced me. I mean, compared to Ford Tempo, Corolla could save us thousands, and that's important.
Good, Dad.
Because I got better things to spend my money on.
See your Toyota dealer today for Toyota value. It's the best deal going.
Alexei Kasatonov sits down for holding at 9:52. Bork hanging on to that puck. Aggressive penalty killing, forcing the Devils to make a mistake, and Kasatonov just hold him off his skates. And I think that's a big thing you can do when you're killing a penalty. If you hang on to that puck, if you get the opportunity, hang on to it, carry it in deep. I'm not saying necessarily try to force offense, but at least take advantage of any openings you get. Normally the power play people on the ice in the power play aren't the good defensive players.
Something very interesting just happened there. Laurie Bossman just got waved out of that face-off circle. Not adhering to the rules, and so the Penguins barked, and they got a little help there, but the puck played back to the Penguins line. And we'll watch closely Mike Civic and Randy Minton, the 2 linesmen here in tonight's game. Penguins 1 for 1 on the power play. They lead the game 1-0. And here's Kevin Stevens cutting down the left wing. Danico gets him up high, knocks him down. Around to the near corner, and Lemieux to the left point to Coffey of the pin. Shoots it, deflected, coming to Murphy. Around the side to Recchi. Shot, he hit the post to the left of Terreri. Big Ben struck one there. Now Lemieux behind the goal. Lemieux swings it out. It comes in front. Stevens can't get a handle on it. The Devils do, and they swing it away. Laurie Boschman got it out of danger. Boschman might be hurt. He's going to the Devils bench, and he's hobbled. Laurie Boschman may have been hit with a shot there. And he's going to the Devils bench, and he is in some pain. Now to the left wing, Mark Recchi. Recchi feather it through with a nice pass. Stevens, though, couldn't quite hold on to it. And Kirk Muller backhands it away to the Penguins end. Down to a minute to go in the Casatonoff penalty. New Jersey shorthanded. The Penguins lead 1-0. Larry Murphy off the far wing. Coffey was better than a good hard check by Kirk Muller. Now Doug Brown in the corner, and Coffey goes back to play the puck around to the near side. Stevens looks for it. Muller lines him up, and they collide. And Muller and Stevens, neither man goes down. Doug Brown right side of the Penguins end. Left side. Here is Driver in. He shoots a save made. Rebound. They can't put it in. Murphy hauled down. Kirk Muller. Kirk Muller possessed on this penalty killing effort. Draws the penalty. And it's going to even it up.
And the crowd loving the defense for the New Jersey Devils. Strong penalty killing. That big hit on Coffey was got things started for the Devils in that particular sequence. And Muller finished it off by driving to the net. Driver's first shot was stopped by Barrasso. Good pad save. Rebound was right there. Muller couldn't get to it. And once again, Murphy was just shrugging, wondering what was the call for. What did I do wrong? Muller went down as he came in front of the net.
Muller, strong performance there, making things happen, and now they'll be at equal strength for the next 38 seconds, and the Devils will get another power play opportunity. Pittsburgh 1, New Jersey 0. And Yuri Herdina has the assignment here for the faceoff, and the Penguins in to the right of goaltender Tom Barrasso. Claude Lemieux on for the Devils. It's 4-on-4 for the next 38 seconds. And now they're warning Roberts. The linesmen are really taking charge in this game of making people get set for the faceoff and stay outside those circles. And lifted back to center with the Penguins to the neutral ice area. Eric Weinrich trying to carry it in. He is bumped, and Phil Bourque has control of it. Bourque of the Penguins wearing number 29 finds Gordy Roberts. One less on that number sheet. He wears 28. And now to Yuri Herdina. Herdina knocked down on the play. It comes to the Devil blue line and worked down the boards into the near corner. Devils almost like they're waiting here for the time to run out of the penalty to Casatonoff. 6 seconds to go, and then they'll go to work on the power play. They just set up shop behind their own net. They're waiting for the power play, and they'll have a minute and 22 seconds to which to work with. And here they go. Driver just stays behind that net. He's out of there now. You can come up, Bruce. And to the right wing to Dino Ziegler. Ziegler spin it off to Peter Stastny of the Devils. Into the Penguins in, over to Dino Ziegler. Slap shot, and a good save by Barrasso. It was razor sharp here in this first period. Ziegler is really blasting that puck. Boy, he's got an array of shots, Dino Ziegler. He's giving you a snapshot, a big half slap shot there, which with a lot of power behind it. A pretty good looking hockey player, Dino Ziegler.
He really is. He's only 20 years old, and the Czechoslovakians have already made a nice showing in this series, with Stastny being the #1 star in game 1, and then Jágr the #1 star in game 2. Ziegler's another Czechoslovakian product who's going to have a pretty nice career in the National Hockey League. He's a physical player. He's strong, and he's controlled on the ice. He's just a solid player, an honest hockey player.
And Tommy said the other night, Barrasso, he was battered and bruised a bit. He said he's going to take a crane to get me out of there, though. He says, I'm playing. And he has been very strong here in the first period so far. To the right side, here's Weinrich. Move it down the wing. And back in behind the Penguin goal. Alf Samuelsson tied up by Peter Stastny. 56 seconds to go on the Penguin penalty. Around to the left point. It will come now to Bruce Driver. Driver to the right side to Weinrich. Lemieux stalking him. Comes over to Shanahan. Back to Weinrich. Center point. Over now to Driver. Left side. Shot by Shanahan. Stop. Rebound. Scores. Shanahan got it in. Shanahan puts it in as McLean had fired the puck, and the Devils get a power play goal, and they tie the game. Well, McLean took the original shot, but Shanahan right there to pick up the biscuit and ram it in with his second playoff goal.
Taglianetti went skating out to meet the man along the side boards, and that left a 2-on-1 advantage with Samuelsson down low. And the puck came through, and the shot by McLean hit a stick. Hit Stastny's stick and came right to Shanahan, and Samuelsson was not able to go over and get him. And Barrasso, reacting to that first shot, wasn't able to get over and stop Shanahan either. strange the way that puck was deflected by Stastny, and it was really a nice bounce for Shanahan. It was kind of a lucky bounce, really, but he was able to put it behind Tommy. He had a lot of net to work with.
Well, the power play goal by Brendan Shanahan, so the Devils on the board with a man advantage. Here's Yager and the Devils in, unable to get to it, and Jamie Hustrup cuts right back up and drills it to the Penguins in. And an icing call here against the New Jersey Devils. We'll return. The game tied at 1 here in New Jersey on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Working on a cold line, going down, down. Working on a cold line. How about another round? 5 o'clock in the evening. I'm already home and gone. An Iron Man is always working. We work hard at having fun. Man, it's rough.
With Paul Steigerwald, Mike Lang here at the Brendan Byrne Arena. And Pittsburgh and the Devils have exchanged power play goals here in period number 1. And another tie game. Both games to date have been very close. The first game, we had a 1-1 tie at the end of 2, and the second game, a 3-3 tie at the end of the second period. So they've been very close games so far. And ripped back to the Devils in by the Penguins. Loney goes in, but Terreri beat him to it and winds it around the boards. Trottier of Pittsburgh had it back in behind the net, but Loney had vacated that spot. Loney puts a good check on Abilene, the Devil defenseman, and Yager now dumps it in behind the net. Here's Trottier going for it, but he can't come up with it. Peter Stastny just throws it ahead off McLean's stick and back to center circle. Off Samuelson to Jaromir Yager. Yager move it over quickly to Trottier. Steps into the Devils in. Leave it right side to Paul Stan. A big slap shot. That missed the mark. And the Devils, Brendan Shanahan tied up by Brian Trottier. 2-on-1 now develops. The Devils putting pressure on Trottier, and they work it free. And they get it to the blue line. They get it out. Yes, they did, but they dump back in by the Penguins. And we'll get an offside call with 6:13 to go. Remember when we told you the shots were dead even at 6 apiece? This game has gone in streaks, really. Now the Devils have outshot the Penguins 13-6. They've had the last 7 shots in the game.
Troy Loney with that huge goal in game 2. Early in the third period. He doesn't score a lot of goals, but big ones, huh, Mike? Troy Loney always seems to come up with a big one, a key goal in games when he scores.
Well, the Penguins in that series, in that game, and twice on occasions took the lead and then coughed it back up. Coming right back, the Devils got the tying goal from Kasatonov not much longer after Loney had cashed in, and only 45 seconds later, and then went on to win it in overtime. And to date, so far, the Penguins have yet to play a real strong game along the likes of what they played when they had the long streak at home and when they just dominated people. They've not had that situation here. And to New Jersey's credit, you've got to put them right up there because they've played very well and they've hung tough and they're playing well again tonight. Rip back into the Devils in. Kasatonov behind his own goal. The Devil defenseman work it up through traffic, coming to center circle. It hit a stick. It's Taglianetti's over to Coffey. Coffey relay it back to Taglianetti. Muller's after him. I put on some pretty good checks the last time out to the left wing to Stevens. He goes back in the Devils in. Try to go to Coffey going for the net, but the pass just avoided his play. On the right side, the Penguins pick it up. Here's Francis cutting for the goal. He turns and shoots it up. Terreri in the rebound. Stevens in digging for it. He's knocked down. There'll be a penalty coming up against the Devils. Muller knocked down Kevin Stevens. Well, the Penguins came very close to going back in front, but Kevin Stevens was knocked down around that goal. And New Jersey now will be the guilty team here on a cross-checking call against Kirk Muller. We'll be back. It'll be Pittsburgh on a power play in a moment on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Shop the appliance store for courteous service, low prices, and a panorama of savings on Panasonic VCRs, all with on-screen programming. Quick play features. This 35-function remote control is specially priced at just $249. Or choose this high-tech 4-head system at just $299. Or this Panasonic with hi-fi stereo sound, a tremendous buy at just $399. Panasonic at the appliance store, where customer satisfaction is our first concern.
Ronnie Francis almost scoring here. He really hasn't been a factor in this playoff series so far. He shot that one that came off Terreri and went wide. He's not been able to register a point in this series. But now Stevens trying for the rebound. Muller up into him and cross-checked him, and the penalty belongs to Kirk Muller of the Devils.
Stevens was bent over fishing for the puck, and Muller wanted to take his head off. He didn't hit him solid, but the intent was there, and Van Hellemond called the penalty.
Coffey to Joey Mullen now on the near side. Over to Mario Lemieux on the power play. Left point to Coffey. Here is Recchi flat in front of that slot area by one of the Devils. And they go after him again. It comes center point to Coffey. Drills one off the shoulder of Terreri off his blocking glove and right up into the seats.
Jim Stussy of Beaver Falls is our contestant on the Ironman Advantage contest. Here's Terreri standing up again on those shots by Coffey. Mike, he's hit him a couple of times with some bullets in this series.
That one actually was deflected on the way in.
And off the elbow of Terreri and into the stands.
Paul Coffey leading the Penguins in shots on goal in this series so far. And Recchi gets the assignment here against Boschman on the faceoff with a minute 44 to go on the Muller penalty. And Recchi's waved out. Here's Lemieux on. Jam back into the near corner for Driver. Driver has it around the far side. Conacher clears. How important are those faceoffs? You saw right there why. Going to kill some time, but here comes Coffey. And those $1 million legs coming up ice now to the Devils line. Scoots in, goes around the left side, got some room, and he fires it. That went over the head of Terreri. He didn't get it down where he wanted it that time. Recchi with the puck at the right point, left side of Coffey. And the doctor looks it over. Goes back to Lemieux off his shoulder. He knocks it down, trying to turn and shoot it. It bounces towards the net. Danico cleared it away. And taken by Doug Brown of the Devils, and he will swing it back into Penguin territory. This is the Penguins' third power play chance. They're 1 for 2 on the night. Both clubs have scored with a man advantage. Recchi of the Penguins finding Kevin Stevens to the right wing now to Lemieux. Slows it down at center ice. There's nowhere to go. They put good pressure on him, and Lemieux circles back now, trying to find somebody open. Goes to Coffey. Coffey of the Penguins, right side over to Larry Murphy, offside of the Penguins. There's 49 seconds to go, and the penalty to Kirk Muller. And the Penguins are now 3 for 11 on the power play in the series so far, and this is their 12th opportunity. By the way, Joey Mullen comes off now, but he had missed 33 games for the Penguins this year. Had surgery on the 6th of February. And the puck control by the Penguins. Lemieux sweeps it into the Devils' end. Scott Young and Recchi will play out here. Here's Stevens with a puck, and he shoots it right on Terreri. Made the save as the Devils had an errant play to clear it out, but a good save by Terreri on Kevin Stevens. Now John McLean sneaking back into the Penguin zone, and Coffey avoids a check by Doug Brown. Coffey's got the motor going out of the Devils' end. Over to the right wing boys for Mario Lemieux. Put it in behind the net. There's nobody there. Over to the near corner. McLean comes in. He's double teamed by both Recchi and Stevens was hit from behind by Cansatona. The Devils can't clear it out. Left point, Coffey. Over to the right side of Lemieux. Pulls back, looks it over. Wheel and deal. Right point to Scotty Young and deep to Recchi. Stevens in front of that net. Goes to Lemieux. Back to Scott Young. He can fire it. He does. And the stop made, I believe, by Terreri off his stick. Tough to tell from up here where we were. Penalty's almost over. Scotty Young again. Shoots it deflected, and it just went wide. And on the play, the Devils back, and here they come with Muller on the ice. John McLean to the right wing. Going to the Penguins, into back to McLean. Drop pass, Cansatona. He tried to make one too many passes. Now in front, though. Muller can't find the net. Lemieux of the Penguins. Oh, Cansatona, one too many passes that time. He had a great chance to score. And Recchi flip it up in the air and back to center. Penguins have some people out a long time here after this power play, and they're trying to get them off. They're exhausted. Devils bank it into the Penguins in, and Stanton around out of Jaromir Jagr. 1-1 the score in the first period. 3:03 to go. Here's Loney hopping back to the Devils line. Skate down the near board. Danico lines him up. Punishing checker is Ken Danico. Outside the line it comes. The Penguins touch it, and that'll be an icing call against the Penguins as Jagr and Jeff Medill start to push and shove. We'll take a timeout. Time left of the period, 2:53. Tied 1 in Game 3 in the first period on the Penguins Hockey Network.
This year, experience the most celebrated championship lineup in the history of figure skating. Jill Trenery, Brian Orser, Peggy Fleming, Christopher Bowman, Elizabeth Manley, Robin Cousins, Midori Ito, Victor Petrenko, Denise Beelman, Todd Eldridge, Christy Yamaguchi, and many other medal winners in the Campbell Soup's 1991 tour of World Figure Skating Champions. See the greatest skaters of all time. Presented by Tom Collins.
One performance, Mother's Day, Sunday, May 12th at the Civic Arena. Tickets on sale now.
The Penguins bench is in the same end where the Penguins are playing right now, Tom Barrasso's end of the rink, and they tried to make a line change at the end of that power play. They were trying to get players on the ice, and that's when the Devils had that great opportunity. Casatono just passed it up and didn't take advantage of the fact that there was a lot of open ice with Penguins trying to get on the ice.
This has been a strange game. The Devils opened up with the first 6 shots. Penguins had the next 6. Devils had the next 7. Penguins have had the last 4. It's unbelievable. Madildo to the Penguins in and offside of the Devils as they cruise in.
I saw Medill trying to get after Jaromir Jagr before we took that commercial break, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Devils try to knock Jagr off his game, maybe take a piece of him more often. One thing we've noticed about Jagr is he just comes up smiling most of the time when people take shots at him. He's a very resilient player.
First of all, he's tough to get off his skates.
Yep.
There is one guy on this Devils team, though, that can take him off his skates, and when you can flip Kevin Stevens around like Danico does, you can take Jagr off his skates too. He is amazing how strong he must be. I mean, you just don't see Stevens go down very often when he's in on a check, or Jagr, and Danico just has that ability. And work down deep into the Devils in. Danico moving around the boards, but the Penguins are right there. Here is Brian Trottier. Trottier in front. Jagr trying to get to it. Trottier was flattened on a check. Now a loose puck in the near corner. Digging for it will be the Pins, but they overskated, and Jeff Medill throws it back to center. Medill now gets involved with Brian Trottier. Pulls Trottier down. Back on the attack. Devils. Penguins on. Shanahan can't get around Samuelson. And Jagr spins it off the glass, and he goes after the loose puck in the Devils' hand, but John Morris is there first. Morris played it outside the blue line. Shanahan carried it back into his own end. Brendan Shanahan of New Jersey in a 1-1 tie here in the first period. Shanahan steps up. Very good hockey game again here. We've seen 2 dandies at Pittsburgh, and now one again taking place here in New Jersey. Cody Roberts. Here's Jagr flattened by Shanahan at center ice. The left wing, it goes to Ronnie Francis, comes down, shoots it. That was off a stick. Deflected back. Francis has it again. He centers all the way to the right side of Larry Murphy. Blasted to the goal, and Terreri made a save. Francis in behind the cage. Working to the right point. Murphy's over. Can he keep it in? He does. Shoots it back towards the net. Block. Mullins got it now in front of Stevens. Back in front. Backdoor shot by Francis. Stop! Loose puck around the net. Who's got it? The Devils scramble, and they come up with it. Absolutely unbelievable. Now, Clyde Lemieux gets involved with Kevin Stevens, as the Penguins really had a great chance to score there. Was bouncing crazily in around that goal. It looked as though any second the Penguins would be able to knock it in, but they could not do it. Not so much as the great goaltending to Terreri, but the way the puck was bouncing, the way the bounce was going for the Devils. The Penguins just couldn't get that puck where they wanted it to finish the play. In front, a backhander right there by the Penguins. Francis, he turned around. I don't know why he didn't go to the forehand, then it bounced away, and then in Weinrich it hit the pipe once. Again, kicked away back to Terreri, and Terreri just reached for that puck. It still got free. Nobody could get a handle on the hot potato, and then finally Terreri, as they all jammed in, got a piece of it. Unbelievable. Well, the Pens failed to score with that chance with 1:25 to go in the period. And they're putting a spotlight on Terreri, but they don't need to. They can put it on the post the way things are going. There's once, twice. And Terreri was completely out of the play. And he ends up with a puck. That's what he gets paid to do, though. Are we going to get penalties issued here? We might.
Pittsburgh, number 28, Gordy Roberts. Devils number 33, David O'Seer. Time 18:35. 2-8 roughing. The Penguins, number 28, Gordy Roberts. The Devils, number 33, David O'Seer. At 18:35.
All right, so those are minor penalties handed out there. By the way, the minor officials for this game tonight and on Tuesday will be minor officials from Boston. Buffalo minor officials worked the first 2 games at Pittsburgh. This has been a crazy game the way it's gone. It is now 13-13 in the shots. They must tilt the ice at a certain time, and it rolls all down one way. And here is Kasatonov with 1:17 to go in the period. Lay it ahead back to center. Will come to Laurie Boschman. Back into the Penguins in off the boards. Conacher comes in. He puts a shot on. That stop by Barrasso. Now Recchi moved it around. Mario Lemieux of the Penguins beat it ahead back through the neutralized area to the Devils line. Fetisov gathers it in, and he'll leave it for Alexei Kasatonov. By everybody, this will be deep into the Penguin right wing corner. Stevens comes back. He touched the puck and makes it a play back down the other way. He's going to be called for icing. Kasatonov will touch it with 44 seconds to go in the period. By the way, the game on Tuesday night, also a 7:45 start. Game 5 at Pittsburgh at 7:30. It's game 3 on your playoff sheet. Devil bench. They're coached by Tommy McVie, who spent a lot of time in the old Western Hockey League. A league I'm pretty familiar with from years past. A pretty good league, and then the World Hockey Association came in, and that was it. Down went the old WHL. In fact, the fellow that's been with the Devils or in hockey for 45 years, Max McMahon, former general manager of this club and also the Capitals, spent a lot of time in the old Western Hockey League and played there, as did Tommy McVie. Face off to the left of Tom Barrasso, and Peter Stastny in against Trottier. And the face-off pulled back to Mark Recchi of the Pens. Recchi put it behind the net to Paul Stanton. 38 seconds to go. In this situation, you just don't want to give up on the goal here late in the period. Trottier's pass to Recchi. Center circle. Lost it to Muller for a moment, but the puck is recaptured by Brian Trottier. He'll shoot it ahead to the left wing corner of the Devils end. Shouldering Recchi was Eric Weinrich. Now Lemieux in digging for the puck, trying to get it free with 20 seconds to go in the period. Recchi is hit again by Weinrich. Bounced him around pretty good here in this first period and driven off the boards back to the Penguins line. Bob Area of the Penguins. Snap it ahead for Lemieux. Leaves it for Samuelson. He'll skate up. Got it to Recchi, or to Area, beg your pardon, off his stick. And time's going to run out here as the Devils slam it back to the Penguins end. And the period ends. Well, the way it's gone in the series so far, back and forth, and not much different. We played one period here at New Jersey at the end of the first. The score, the Penguins won and the Devils won here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
5, 6, 7, and come on, you can do it. 6, 7, again, 6, 7, 8.
After making it on Broadway, some of the finest entertainers around go off Broadway. They appear on the pleasure ships of Norwegian Cruise Line. No other cruise line offers such entertainment. Norwegian Cruise Line, the best vacation you've ever had. Plus,
your friends at Shadyside Travel and KBL Sports Network invite you to join Kevin Stevens, Phil Bork, Jay Caulfield, and me, Paul Steigerwald, on the first ever Penguins Cruise. Spend 7 days on Norwegian Cruise Line's deluxe ship, the Norway, from June 15th through the 22nd. Space is limited, so do not delay. For a free brochure and more information, call 1-800-227-9843. That's 1-800-227-9843, and I'll see you on board.
Stay tuned for an important offer from Barron's.
You usually buy a stock in the expectation that it's going to go up. The problem is you're buying it from someone who's equally convinced that it's going down. This sobering observation is brought to you by Barron's. Because the difference between happiness and unhappiness in such exchanges often comes down to who's better informed. And that's where we can help, with weekly updates on thousands of stocks and bonds, interviews with insightful stock pickers, reports on promising companies, and one of the most complete statistical digests published anywhere. Of course, you could ignore all that and trust your luck. But then Barron shows up every week without fail, which is more than you can say for luck.
Subscribe now to Barron's and get 13 weeks for only $28 with a money-back guarantee. Call 800-232-2700. That's 800-232-2700.
At the Brendan Byrne Arena, the appliance store scoring summary, we look at it, and Mark Recchi scoring his first in the playoffs for the Penguins on a power play goal at 4:56. Took the Penguins only 9 seconds to score after Abilene had gone off of the Devils on a holding call. Coffey and Lemieux assisting, made it 1-0 Pittsburgh. And then Brendan Shanahan with a second at 12:32 of the playoffs from McLean and Stastny, also a power play goal to tie the game. New Jersey with 14 shots, the Penguins with 13. And on the power play, both clubs 1 for 3 in that first period. Paul Steigerwald is standing by with a special guest. Let's go down and join him right now.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Kevin Stevens is here. And Kevin, we were talking about during the first period on the power play how much you're getting attention around that net standing in front of the goal. And well, I know you've got a problem with your face right now. Your nose is very tender, but you must have some welts on your body, too, from people trying to move you out of there.
Yeah, it's a tough position there to sit in front of the net, but I like playing there. And I get a lot of my goals from just sitting in front of the net and tipping shots in, you know, hopefully causing more traffic for the other guys. And, you know, we got one there early where Rex batted it in, and it was a big goal for us. But we just got to keep going, and, you know, the power play is a big part of our team.
Yeah, it really is. And you guys had a pretty good first period. There was the game seemed to be going in streaks with the Devils getting several shots and then you coming back and getting your opportunities. But you got to feel pretty good about how the team played in the first period.
Yeah, I think so. Our team played pretty well. It was an up-and-down hockey game. There was a couple of penalties each way. I think the referee's doing a good job out there tonight, and he's going to let us control our destiny. We're just going to have to go out and work hard, and I think it's a good game for us. We all feel we can win this game, and I think we're going to win this game, and the next 2 periods are going to be really important.
You talk about the referee. In the first couple of games, I'm sure it had to be frustrating for you, Kevin, to be taking sticks in the face and going off the ice bleeding and having no penalties called. It's got to be a frustration for you right now.
Yeah, it is. It's you know, when you sit in front of the net or you're around the net, you're going to get sticks that are up high and they're trying to move you out. But it makes it that much better when the referee's confident and he can make calls where, you know, if you're going to get cut open, it's going to be a penalty in it. We had just scored a power play goal the first night, and he cuts me open. It's at least 4 minutes, even if it's an accidental. And, you know, we were on a power play for 4 more minutes. But, you know, the calls weren't going our way, but hopefully we can just keep digging away and, you know, we'll get our calls.
How tender is your nose right now? You told me today you can't even touch it. That's amazing. You're out there playing, and Terreri certainly didn't help matters, did it?
Yeah, you know, it was a little sore today. Today was probably the worst day. I don't know why, but it's all right now. You just got to put it out of your mind. You'll get that windshield on, so it's trying to help me out a little bit.
Is it helping you, or does it hinder you in any other way?
I don't like wearing it because it fogs up a lot, and but it's something you have to wear. If you don't have that on, you know, they're still going after my face, even though I know I got my shield on. But if I didn't have it on, it'd be a lot worse. So it's protecting me right now.
Kevin, you know, we should probably tell the fans that the reason your nickname is Artie is because your father's name is Art, and he was in town this week and spending a lot of time around the locker room. It must be a thrill for him, first of all, to have a son in the National Hockey League, but also to be able to get involved and come around and have an opportunity to be there after the skate and just be involved in playoff hockey.
Yeah, he likes to come around around the playoff time. He's one of those guys that likes to sit in the locker room. I think he talked to everybody, you know, 20 minutes. I think they were getting sick of him after a while, but you know, he's staying at my house with me and my wife, and you know, we get to see him a lot, and he comes in the playoff time and the big games, and he likes that, and it's good to see my mother and father.
Did you have a good relationship with him as you were growing up as an athlete?
Yeah, I had a real good relationship. He was always an athlete. He wanted me to play baseball. He played baseball at Cincinnati in their farm team, and I played a little baseball, a lot of baseball, and he was my coach going all the way through, so we had a lot of fun that way, and you know, it's always fun for him to come in and, you know, stay at the house with my mother and my wife, and maybe get to see some time and relax a little bit.
Kevin, I want to ask you about the second period coming out here. And you said that you just got to keep digging away. What's the difference between the way things have gone for your club, do you think, in the first period here in Jersey as compared to what was happening in Pittsburgh? Systematically, if anything.
Yeah, I think, you know, they're here and they're in front of their home crowd. And I think they're opening up a little more than they probably want to, because we had some chances there where we could have been up a couple of goals. And in Pittsburgh, they were playing a tighter forecheck and a tighter system, you know, with the guys sitting back in the neutral zone. But right now, it seems like they're opening up. You know, they're at home. They want to show their fans that they can go on the offense here. Hopefully, we can capitalize.
I hope you do. Good luck the rest of the way, Kevin.
Thank you very much.
Kevin Stevens of the Penguins has been our guest, and we'll return to the Brendan Byrne Arena in just a moment. It's a 1-1 tie after 1 period of play here in Game 3 of the Patrick Division semifinal series, the Penguins and Devils on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Just minutes from Pittsburgh International Airport, a very unique auto complex is taking shape. It's called Airport Auto Mall, the new location for Airport Honda, along with Airport Hyundai, Airport Mazda, and Falcone Oldsmobile Cadillac. If you've been waiting to buy a new car, you gotta see Airport Auto Mall on the runway. Honda, Hyundai, Mazda, Oldsmobile, Cadillac, all in one exciting place. Airport Auto Mall, a whole new way to shop for a car.
In business, an extra hour of preparation time can make the difference. So executive transportation becomes a necessary part of the strategy.
Yes, Mr. Casper.
And today, more and more business is done on the way to and from business.
Hi there. I'm Bart, $200. And this is our proposal.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Carriage Limousine Services. We provide a more efficient use of executive time.
At 11 o'clock, it's a fast-paced, to-the-point, concise newscast.
At 11 o'clock, that's when it hits the fan. All the games are ending right at that time.
In the winter especially, changing weather can sneak up on you. We'll give you the last word on how to dress the kids for school.
Nation. It doesn't stop at 6 o'clock. This town's still alive at night, and we're here to bring it to you.
Eyewitness News tonight. You'll see how your world has changed. Weeknights at 11 on KDKA TV2.
Warning, cold starts can be tough on your car's engine because your motor oil might not reach some of its parts for a full minute. Fact, independent lab tests confirm whether it's 35 below zero or 50 above. Quaker State 10W30 gets to all your engine parts faster than other leading 10W30s. At 40 degrees, it's 3 times faster. So don't let cold starts make it tough on your engine. Get Quaker State. It's one tough motor oil.
Our thanks to Kevin Stevens for being our guest, and Lubin and Smalley will donate a floral arrangement to a children's hospital in Kevin Stevens' name.
Of Mellon Bank Hockey Smarts. This segment of Hockey Smarts is brought to you by Mellon Bank. Join the thousands of smart people and sign up for the Smart Account today. We have broken down our examination of minor penalties into 2 categories. Our first category will deal with 6 of the more common ones. The first is holding.
Minor holding.
A 2-minute minor penalty is called when a player holds an opponent with his hands, his stick, or in any other way. The next is hooking.
Minor hooking.
This is called when a player impedes the progress of an opponent by use of a stick.
Minor tripping.
Tripping is called when a player places a stick, his knee, foot, arm, hand, or elbow to an opponent, causing him to fall. The fourth is interference.
Minor interference.
This is called when a player impedes the progress of an opponent who is not in possession of the puck.
Minor high sticking.
High sticking is called when a player carries his stick above the normal height of the shoulder. And our last penalty is roughing.
Minor roughing.
This is called when a player displays unnecessary roughness or aggression to his opponent. Be sure to be with us again for another installment of Mellon Bank Hockey Smarts.
Been with the bank long?
Quite some time.
All right, what's the atomic weight of carbon?
Not again.
Come on.
12.
The capital of Nepal?
Kathmandu. But this isn't what we mean by smart.
What were the economic principles governing the medieval feudal system?
Well, the allocation of land in an agriculturally based society is determined by class.
Join thousands of other smart people and sign up for the Smart Account today. See why the smart money is coming to Mellon.
How to build a better hamburger. First, banish the bun. Then take away the tomato. Pick up your pickles. Cut out the condiments. And finally, leave the lettuce behind. Because when you get down to the meat of it, it's the meat that makes the burger. Introducing new Butcher's Premium Ground. It's not just the same old grind. Ground fresh all day, only at Giant Eagle, where there's a lot you can feel good about.
Sometimes we like to engage in intellectual pursuits. At night, you can observe our wildlife in its natural habitat.
Preserve the wildlife.
The first news of the day condensed into 4 15-minute blocks.
I don't think people have a lot of time in the morning to sit down and watch news.
15 minutes designed to get you on your way.
Everyone will get to know a little bit about what's going on before they leave the house.
15 minutes with weather for the day ahead.
Well, I think people want to know in the morning, the first thing is what the weather is going to be like for today, so they know how to dress. We'll give you that right off the top.
Eyewitness News this morning. 15 minutes says it all.